hello to all my dear viewers. Merry Christmas to all. I hope you have a great time this Christmas. Okay. Today we will talk about a very special and interesting case, which is the case of the young woman who was tortured for 40 days. Yeah, for 40 days. So sad that. And her name is Junko Furuta. This is a special case that I bring you this Christmas, and never forget to trust anyone, my dear. Please, never. Without further ado, let's begin. I have recalled my hair. Yeah. So at this moment, I will do a little biography about Junko. Furuta was born in Misato, Saitama Prefecture. He lived with his parents, older brother and younger brother. As a teenager, he attended Yoshiminami High School and worked part-time at a plastic mold factory during after-school hours from October 1988. She did this to save money for a graduation trip she had planned. Furuta also took a job at an electronics retailer where she planned to work after graduation. In high school, Furuta was well liked by his classmates with high grades and very infrequent absence. The perpetrators were four teenagers: Hiroshi Miyano, 18 years old; Ho Agora, 17 years old; Shinji Minato, 16 years old; and Yasushi Watanabe, 17 years old. At the time of the crime, they were using the second floor of Minato's house as a meeting place and had previously been involved in crime.
On November 25, 1988, as she was cycling home from work, four teenagers all between the ages of 15 and 18 intercepted her. Among the group was Hiroshi Miyano, who was known to have close connections to the Yakuza mob. The house was located in the Ayase district in Tokyo, and it was the place where he remained in captivity for the next 44 days under extreme and daily physical and psychological torture. The first thing the kidnappers did was force her to call her parents to tell them that she was fine and she would not come home. That call hindered the investigation and added to the enormous influence of the Miyano family and the terror it founded through different mechanisms, prevent solving the crime and saving the young woman. In total, Furuta spent 44 days kidnapped. During this time, she was raped by the main perpetrators of the crime and others. She was also beaten, cut, and subject to various forms of humiliation.
Gentlemen, despite the shocking brutality of the crime, the identity of the young men was for a time cancelled by the court as they were all considered minors at the time of the crime. In July 1999, a court sentenced Miyano, the alleged crime leader, to 70 years in prison, but the Tokyo High Court judge sentenced him to an additional 3 years in prison. He was 80 years old at the time of the murder. Minato, who originally received a sentence of 4 to 6 years, was reduced to 5 to 9 years by the judge. He was 16 years old at the time of the murder. Yasushi, who was originally sentenced to 3 or 4 years in prison, received an enhanced sentence from 5 to 7 years. He was 17 years old at the time of the murder. Ogura spent 8 years in juvenile prison before being released in August 1999. He was 17 years old at the time of the murder. The sentences were considered too light for the crimes committed, and the 4 people were protected by special provision applied to people aged 80 and under. Junko Furuta had been so brutally murdered at the young age of 70. Hearing the details of the brutal rape and torture, and specter at the trial find, Furuta's mother also had mental breakdown, which required psychiatric treatment. Police found the barrel containing Furuta's body the next day. She was identified through fingerprints on April 1, 1989. Ogura was arrested for a separate sexual assault and later arrested again for Furuta's murder. This was followed by the arrest of Wannabe, Minato, and Minato's brother. Other accomplices involved in Furuta abuse were formally identified, including Nakaramura and Koichi Hiara, who were charged with rape after their DNA was found on and inside the victim's body.